And we're back with the Roast Battle Podcast, meeting with Nikki Glazer, our permanent judge on the firing squad this season. Nikki, what was your reaction when they asked you to be a permanent judge this season?
Oh my God, I was at lunch with my friends after I was doing my radio show on Comedy Central Radio. It's called You Up.
Nice plug.
On Sirius XM, channel 95. And afterwards we were having lunch, and I got a call from, whenever you get a call from both your agent and manager on the same call, it's either great news or terrible news. And I have a lot of heat on me now, so I was like, this is good news. So
yeah, they can't fire me again.
Yeah, exactly. So I went out onto the street, and they asked me, they said they want you to be a judge on Roast Battle. And I was like, hell yes. I was very excited. And then they told me how much money I was making, and I was like, no, I was even more excited. But then they hadn't given me the roast yet at that point. So I was like, and I was kind of waiting for that call, you know, the roast of Bruce Willis. And so I was like, oh, this probably means I'll get the roast of Bruce Willis, which it didn't mean that, but I was just like, I should start, like, it just meant a lot to me in many different ways, because I was like, oh, this means I'm back on board with Comedy Central. Oh. They want me back.
Well, even like the #1 rated radio show in like the history of their station. So I mean,
well, you know, my show is killing it, and that's radio though. But I did have a TV show on their network, and was you know, canceled. So
2 seasons though.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't canceled because it wasn't good, or you know, there's lots of who cares. But the point of the matter is, I'm back in bed with Comedy Central. We're, you know, it's like when you get back with an ex, which is all I do, and it's like that's how I feel about Comedy Central. It's like I'm like in this phase of like we're in love again, and they love me, and I love them, and we'll break each other's hearts at some point because everything comes to an end. But right now, it's real good.
You really like roasting?
What?
You really like roasting?
Do I like roasting? I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's joke writing. It's just great joke writing, and you get to be really mean, which I feel at my core I am, but I never really get to be.
Okay.
And you get to be really dark. You ended some of those jokes with like really dark shit, because you're a dark guy, even though you're so cheery. I know that there's a deep sadness within you. I do, and that's why I'm giving you the win, because I don't want you to pull a Bourdain later tonight, so...
Hey,
did you guys not know he killed himself? That's what I'm saying.
Why do you feel you don't get to be mean?
Well, I just think in normal life, I'm not a mean person. I just feel like I like to make people comfortable and feel good about themselves, and that's kind of...
Midwest charm.
And I want that back at me, like just in life, but I think mean things all the time. And and also being a judge is amazing because I'm constantly judging people all the time, and I don't get to let any of that out. And in this role, I get to do both. Sarah Tiana, you proved tonight that women are funny. Dolph Ziggler, you proved tonight that butch lesbians are funny, and that means something to me.
You did seem like a natural in judging people.
Oh my God, thank you. Yeah, it was a talent I didn't know I had, but I really enjoyed it. But I love roasting. I think I wrote jokes for friends who have been on previous roasts, like early on when I was a young comic. So I got certain jokes on, and it made me feel so good and really validates you as a joke writer. And I think I love joke writers. Like, that's my favorite kind of comedian, is not ones that you're like, wow, his performance is, you know, I can respect a performance, but the writing is always what stands out to me, and that's what I like about the process. So I think that's what it's whittled down to, just jokes, like joke-offs. That's essentially what it is, mean joke-offs. It's awesome.
We shot for 3 nights, 6 episodes. I mean, what did you learn through the process?
I learned, what did I learn? I learned that there's a lot of talent out there, the new talent coming up, that I'm like, oh, God damn it. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you see the new person on campus, and you're like, oh, God, they're going to eclipse me someday, and I'm going to be jealous of them and all that. So I just learned that there's, like, so much new talent that I didn't know about. You sitting right here, Pat Barker, hilarious.
When I lost a child, I had to pray that one day I'd be able to have another one. When Eli lost a child, he had to pray that child didn't go to the police.
Going into it, I really didn't know much about you, and I'm like, oh, great, God, he's really good. And
thank you.
Yeah, it was cool to I made so many friends this week of shooting.
Oh, nice.
Like, I come to LA. I used to live here until January, and then I moved to New York to do my show. And whenever I come back, I have like 2 friends here. I just like don't have any LA friends. And now after this roast battle experience, I have so many more friends, close friends I've made.
Well, ones that you judge for, actually.
Yeah, the
not
ones
the
that I
ones you-
judged. But like, I really, Nicole Buchanan,
Yeah.
love her. Connor McSpadden. I just felt like and you guys, like I got to know both of you. I just feel like I know so many more people, and it was just a really I want to do more episodes because I loved the cast and I loved the people that hung around and I loved the community of it.
That's kind of what this is all about. It is a community project, the Roast Battle.
It's a great. I came up out of Philadelphia, and when I first moved out here, I didn't have any real sense of community until I discovered the Roast Battle. Like
Yeah.
it's a tight group.
It is, and there's so much love there. As much hate as there is there. There's so much love, and everyone. And it's, Jeff Ross is like the nicest person ever and takes care of other comics so well. And I think he's
Right.
taught other comics that he's taken care of to take care of comics that follow them. And so I think it's just, it's all really nice, good people. I
Big
don't think there's
pay
an
it forward
asshole in the
movement.
bunch.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You don't last if you're an asshole. If you're not fun and cool to be around, then we don't keep you around. You get weeded out.
They work their way out.
Yeah, because
it's just-
everyone's
That's life.
sweet. All you boys are so sweet, and it's not. That's just not like. Not every young male comic is sweet. A lot of them have egos, and especially when you're battling and there's winners and losers, there can be egos, and that is all at play. But you all are just really kind and damaged people, and I love you for it.
the
I
comic
think
in general.
you know what
Yeah.
I love about roasting? This is truly the thing that I took away from this week that I was so grateful for was that so many of the jokes were written about really dark stuff, about like your marriage is falling apart with the Sklar's.
A lot of people ask us, how do you tell the two of us apart? I say it's easy. Jason's the one in glasses, and I'm the one in a good marriage.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that, and I'm like, oh, wow, well, they're bringing that to the forefront. Like, or you've tried to kill yourself before, or you've
like
had
everybody.
miscarriages.
You guys had a miscarriage after you'd already baby-proofed the house. It worked. A baby didn't get in.
There are things that people are not talking about on television outside, and especially not in a personal way.
Right.
And being open enough to let someone make fun of them for it. I mean, honestly, what you're doing is groundbreaking, and I sense that being there because I struggle with depression and suicidal thoughts and all of those things, and to see someone get up there and be like, yeah, I've tried to kill myself and now I'm gonna let people make fun of me for it. It's like, good, let's open the dialogue, because there's people watching at home who have also have those thoughts who can't even admit it, let alone make fun of it. And it's just really empowering to watch someone make fun of themselves about that stuff.
After season 2, I got a bunch of messages from people who have been through miscarriages, and they're like, they thought that was the thing I got most often in terms of feedback, was people being like, that really took guts. I can't even like come out publicly with
Yes.
it. Like, my wife and I are hiding it. And yeah, I think anytime you have something like that and it's empowering.
It is so
You know?
important what you're doing, and you found a way to do it in such a fun, entertaining way without getting too serious. But you're
Right.
talking about issues that literally no one else is talking about on TV. Yamanika, you just being like, we were both molested, and here's some jokes about that. That's important to people who have been molested. I haven't been. And I'm almost angry about it because I wanted to relate to that on a different level. It really was an important joke, and I'm grateful for you tonight. I made a joke on the roast of Bruce Willis about Robin Williams, like not about him, but referencing that he killed himself. But people go, oh, and I go, well, are we not supposed to, like, he killed himself. So if we don't talk about it, then it's taboo, and then we don't talk about suicide. But if
Right.
we talk about suicide, and actually people who are thinking about it feel free enough to talk about it, maybe they won't do it.
Exactly.
So we need to talk about these things. We need to make fun of them, and I congratulate you on finding a really great way to do it.